Hi, you guys. Erin here, back with another moon update for you. We are having a very intense full moon this coming Monday, April 26th at 8:31 p.m. Pacific time. Now, all full moons are a time of intensity. The moon rules our emotions and our moods and our intuition. So when she's in her fullest form, these things are heightened, they're amplified. But this full moon is in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio is the sign of intensity. It's the sign of desire. It's the sign of passion. It's a very powerful energy. It's an energy that's about transformation and death and rebirth, not just death, but death and a powerful rebirth. This is because Scorpio is ruled by Pluto and Mars. Okay. Now, to start with Mars, Mars is like the masculine side of sensuality and sexuality. It's really the aggressor of the heavens. And that said, this energy, the Scorpio energy, is very much associated with sexual energy. In fact, Scorpio rules the genitalia. Okay. Pluto is like the destroyer. Pluto destroys everything it touches, but to a very purposeful reason, to bring a more powerful rebirth to it. That's what Pluto influences. Pluto is actually like the ruler of the underworld. Okay. This is a very powerful energy. It can also be associated with occult type energies and magic and that sort of thing. In fact, Scorpio season is when it's Halloween. It's really Scorpio season is when the veil is thinnest between the spirit realm and the earth realm. Okay. So this is very much in touch with mysticism and spirituality, but in a very, very powerful way, and also a very sexual and sensual way as well. Full moons are a time of honoring our growth. Okay. If we go back to November 15th, I believe it was November 15th of 2020, when we had a new moon in the sign of Scorpio, that was when the seed was planted for this Scorpio energy. And over these 6 months, as a collective, we've all experienced growth that have to do with this scorpionic energy. And this full moon is a time to embrace that. It's a time to honor it. It's full moons are representative of the time when the flower comes into bloom. And it's like the peak of the growth cycle. So full moons are a time to honor that. It's also a time to let go of that which no longer serves you. If there's energy that has to do with anything Scorpio that is in your life that no longer serves you, this is the time to let go of that. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to pull up the zodiac for April 26th. So for those of you who have not seen my videos before, what we're looking at here, I'm looking at something called ephemeris sky now. And this shows me the heavens. This is the zodiac right here. In other words, the heavens on April 26th, 2021 at 8:31 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, so what we're going to focus on right here is this is the moon right here. And this is the sun right here. This is what happens when we have a full moon. The sun and moon are at opposite sides of the zodiac. They're 180 degrees away from each other. And this is what brings the moon to her fullest form. Again, going back to that November 15th of 2020, when we had the new moon in the sign of Scorpio, the sun and moon were right next to each other. They were in the same spot in the sign of Scorpio. Now they're opposite. This is a peak of the growth cycle. Okay, now also what I see here is the moon in the sign of Scorpio will actually be making a really lovely connection with Mars in the sign of Cancer. Okay, this is a harmonious connection. Mars in Cancer really has to do with putting things into action in a sensitive way. Okay, so just consider that when you're embracing this full moon energy, putting things into action with a little bit of sensitivity. Now, I'm not going to go without mentioning the sun, of course. So the sun is in the sign of Taurus, of course, because Taurus is opposite Scorpio. Taurus is actually a very grounded energy. It's a very patient energy. So that's beneficial to help keep us grounded through this very, very powerful full moon. However, the sun is also going to be conjunct or right next to Uranus. Uranus is the influencer of revolutionary changes. Okay. So there's a lot of interesting blends of energy going on here. In fact, I'm just going to throw this out there. Taurus also has a lot to do with material possessions or the money that we make to obtain those material possessions. And that sign of Taurus, it really kind of it can bring in more abundance of material things. Now, Uranus has been in the sign of Taurus for a few years now, and we still got a few more years to go, but it's Uranus again brings abrupt and revolutionary changes. The sign of Taurus has to do with money. We can see very clearly that there is very revolutionary changes going on with our money system. We're seeing cryptocurrency just go crazy right now. And that has a lot to do with that Uranus and Taurus energy. So the sun being conjunct that can kind of actually, if you're into, finances and cryptocurrency or even buying precious metals, this actually might be a nice time to do that, to really kind of, again, put a little bit of focus on that. But then use that Scorpio moon intuition. It's a psychic energy. Scorpio is so intense that it's psychic. Use your intuition to tap into that stuff and utilize that. Now, what I like to do for full moons, well, really any moon phase, is I like to honor it. I like to have somewhat of a moon ritual, and that varies. Sometimes I only have time to take 10 minutes and go put my feet on the ground and send my prayers to the heavens. Just depending on what moon phase it is and what sign it's in, it's all going to be different. For this full moon, I will definitely be having somewhat of a bonfire and touching my feet to earth and honoring the heavens so that I'm obtaining both the positive and the negative ions, running my vessel clearly, okay, and embracing this full moon energy. Now, something else I'm going to mention here, what I've been talking about is the energy we experience as a collective, but there is so much more to this moon magic. If you really want to tap into this stuff and figure out what area of your life this is specifically manifesting for you, I do strongly encourage you to book a 10-minute astrology reading to figure out, it's $22 to figure out which house in your natal chart, or in other words, what area of your life this full moon manifests. Okay, there's 12 houses in the zodiac and they all represent different areas of our life. This could be happening in your house of career, where there's some sort of a powerful transformation that you're embracing that has to do with your career. Or maybe it's in your house of relationships and there's something very powerful going on with your relationship with your partner, something very intense. Or maybe it's in your house of communication and you're trying to honor, using powerful communication skills, or your house of self, and so on and so forth. So it's really a good idea to at least, and you can also go back and I've got a YouTube video that's manifesting with the moon. And I do give you some instructions on how to find this out for yourself if you don't, feel like scheduling the astrology reading. Now, before we check out here, I also really like to, really utilize minerals, crystals, okay, gemstones. For each zodiac sign, there's several stones that resonate very well with each zodiac sign, okay? So Topaz is actually the zodiacal birthstone for the sign of Scorpio, but that is one stone that I do not have. So, but that's okay. There's so many other stones that resonate very, very well with the Scorpio energy. In fact, I will leave a full, extensive list of stones that resonate very well with this Scorpio energy. But just to name a few, this right here is black jasper. This is really good for this full moon because it is very grounding. Again, we can get wrapped up in powerful emotions and that sort of thing. Black jasper can actually bring that to a more centered state. And also a pretty popular one, this is shungite. This is one that I love to put in my water because this is a very grounding and very protective stone that resonates very, very well with the Scorpio energy. Another one that's very common is smoky quartz, okay? And this comes in all different tones. It doesn't always look like this. In fact, here's another piece right here. Looks a little different here, you can see. Or maybe you have a sphere, or maybe you just got a little one. Doesn't matter. Scorpio energy resonates very, very well with smoky quartz. And one reason that I really like working with this stone is because it not only offers protection, but it's also an amplifier. So when I'm out there, honoring the moon and holding on to this smoky quartz, I'm being protected from unwanted energies, basically through the dark part of the smoky quartz. But then the clearer part is the amplifier that's amplifying my prayers. And so Smoky Quartz is definitely one that I will be using for this full moon ritual. So I think that about covers it. If you have any questions, please feel free to, again, send me an email, schedule an astrology reading, or just go see my website, see all the different options for readings that I offer. erinwageastrology.com, or my email is erinwageastrology@gmail.com. And until next time, namaste to all of you.